Hello and welcome to Survived Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino and my best friend Amanda Bryan. Today we're talking about Big Brother 23, week 4. We're a little late. Things happened, it happens. But it was the week itself was never in question. It was more of about things being set up for future weeks throughout most of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're playing ahead super hard right now.
Yeah, it's and the show is having trouble keeping up with it. This week's episode did pretty well, or the last episode did all right for um for presenting what's been going on a little bit more. But there's been a lot of
Yeah.
these episodes where like they're lacking because they don't know what's really, or they're not portraying what's all happening and everything like that.
No, they can't fit all of it into one go. Do you know what I mean? Like they can't fit. There's so much going on in the feeds. This is a very feed heavy season. Like if you are not
Hmm.
watching the feeds, you're almost kind of missing out in a way. Which I don't watch a lot of feeds. I work all the time. But if I had ample time, watching the feeds, it's never a dull moment. You know what I mean? If you once they get past the sleeping and they get past, just the idle chit chat, everyday stuff, but the actual game talk on the feeds, there's a lot of it and it's good. And they're having a hard time fitting all of it into the show. And they have to fit in the funny, they have to fit in the comps, they have to fit in, certain diary rooms that are important. So there's only a sliver amount of time where you can put in what you want. And I think
Yeah.
they're having a hard time this season. There's so much content to make a story. They don't know what story to tell. I
Hmm.
think that's how I feel like it is. There's so many little things going on. They're having a hard time getting it together to fit into one story.
Yeah, I agree. It's the bouncing around everywhere a little bit, but I'm hoping that things get a little bit better as less people are inside the house, which also does help.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see moving forward. Uh, Anyways, the beginning of the week, Christian won the HOH. Um, he had the debate between him and the Kings were to go after Hannah or go after Whitney, and they weren't sure which one they really wanted to go after. A lot of the people wanted to go after Whitney, mainly the cookout, and then there's other people
Yeah.
who did try to push for Hannah. And we get to the wild card competition, which felt like it took forever. Uh, when I first
Yeah.
started watching it, I thought it was gonna be pretty fast because it was basically you had one of those puzzle mazes. You had to take a ball like a ping pong ball and put it all the way towards the end of the course, and they had to do it one time. I was like, oh, that seems a little easy, but no, it was not easy for
It was
them.
not easy at all. It reminds me of Survivor because Survivor has comps like this pretty often where you have to maneuver something, along a balance beam or something. Um, I felt like it could have been a decent comp once you got it down. Once you got the motion of the thing, you got to learn your instrument. Once you learn your instrument, then you're good to go. You know what I mean? I think that's
Mhm.
what it was a lot of them just trying to figure. I can't believe how slow Ozza was going. Like
Oh,
if
oh, let's
she
let's say
if she I would be worried that people think I was throwing it. I'm not kidding. Like she was going so slow, and her lack of trying was so bad that I really was wondering why people didn't think she threw it.
we have to tell the participants, which was Whitney, Aza, and Claire, and the main goal was uh uh well, Claire wanted to win, and didn't want Whitney to win. Aza the same thing. So that was the goal of both of them. Pretty much is make sure Whitney doesn't win. Aza was like a statue, and like
Yeah, she just didn't move.
it
I
was
didn't know what she was
that
doing. I'm like,
was
girl, like,
that was the best part of the episode to me was the way they
oh
edited
my
it.
god, watching
The mu-
Ozzy like try so hard, not at all.
yeah, the music was
No.
hilarious towards it, and it was it wasn't very exciting to watch. It took a long time, but basically
Yeah,
Claire won. Aza, I only think got passed around the first turn.
no,
Um,
I don't think she did either. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, I was surprised no one was like, "Did you throw that competition?" Like, we might get feeds of this later, but that. I mean, that's what I thought. If I would have watched her do that, I would have thought that she was throwing the whole thing,
right, and then
100%.
Whitney just could not do it. That's pretty much what it
No,
is. She just
she
struggled.
tried.
She tried, yeah, she struggled really
So I give it
bad.
to her. She tried.
So Claire wins, and she gets the opportunity to either save herself and her whole team for the week, or take safety to jury. Now, what would you have done if you were Claire?
Oh, I would have taken safety for myself, 100%. And I don't think her team blamed her for it. They said it was the right decision.
Depending on the situation, and depending on if I was the Jokers, I'm taking safety for my whole team, because you've constantly been targeted left and right, and you don't want to be targeted again. And
The
but
question is though, does your teammates have your back as much as you have theirs? So like if I win this competition and I win safety for my whole team, like what are they doing for me in return? You know what I mean? Like that's what I'd be telling them, be like, y'all better give me 30 seconds on why we should save everybody instead of just myself.
no, I don't think that would be smart in front of everybody, though.
Not in front of everybody, I guess.
Well, that's
but
all she
you know
had.
what I mean? Like that'd be the conversation later. It's like, hey, I did this for you, so like, what can you do for me?
Well,
I scratched your back. You're gonna scratch mine.
And the time they're still in the teams, so if one of them wins HOH, they're all safe. So and still in the moment they're still in the team format, so that is also a benefit.
Right.
And for the most part, most of the teams are working together. For the most part, majority, like there is a few exceptions here or there, but
I mean, yeah, most of them have a deal either with another team or with people on the other team, so it's not strict.
Claire's specific situation, I would have took jury as well.
Yeah.
Because Tiffany or Kylan aren't touching the block there, so you don't have to worry about them.
I think she knew that too. She knew that they were safe and that they were good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Claire doesn't know about the cookout, and Claire doesn't know about the royal flush either.
No, she's in the royal flush.
Or she is in the royal. Yeah, that's right. She is in the royal flush. She's like, because it's Kings and the Queens, and then
and Derek X. Yeah,
and Derek X. Yeah, sorry, that's my bad.
Yeah, we get to the pretty much that's all that happens. Not much. Like Sarah Beth, we have a little meeting. Sarah Beth goes hard trying to target Hannah. I feel like her read was correct, and her trying to get Hannah out was correct. The way she did it was wrong.
Yes, 100%. I think that Hannah is obviously the smarter person to go in that situation. She's smarter. She's playing harder. Whitney is literally just a Barbie doll in the house. Like she doesn't put any threat game wise. I think that they're really trying hard to keep the cookout together. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the cookout plus Hannah, is pretty much how they call it.
Well,
the cookout plus Hannah. But you know what? They've said it multiple times though throughout these episodes that Hannah's a part of the cookout and then she's not part of the cookout. She is and she's not.
No, she's a part of the cookout to everybody at this point except for Azah. She's the only one at this point is refusing to accept her as
that cookout alliance is not as secure as what they think they are. There are definitely cracks in that alliance already.
There is cracks, but I am afraid that the cracks aren't going to break apart.
Do you think that they're scared to make that move? I don't think Tiffany would be scared to make that move.
No, I don't think Tiffany admitted that she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to.
No, if she was smart, she would bring all of them to jury, then vote them all out and vote for her at the end.
She doesn't want to. She's literally said she wants to vote Claire out.
And is that her target this week?
No, not this week, but
I didn't think so.
No, she said sooner than later.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. If it was her, if she was smart, she would bring most of them to jury stage and then cut them in the nicest way possible. And then she's building her jury to vote for her in the end.
That's the problem. She's not thinking that way. And that's my concern.
She is spreading herself too thin. She's creating too many. She's trying to keep all her ducks in a row and have their babies too. You know what I mean? Like she's trying to make sure that Kylan's good and he's got Sarah Beth. She's trying to make sure Xavier's good and he's got, whoever at the time. I can't say Whitney because Whitney's going home. So Tiffany's making sure that each one of her cookout people have their number ones as well so they can control the votes the whole time. We went over that during an episode. But what her issue is I think that by telling everybody this plan, they're thinking that she's making the deal just with them per se, in the sense of like, hey, she's coming to me, reviewing this deal with me. that's not a final two, but it's and I trust you one-on-one to talk to you about this and not in front of everybody else.
Technically,
If she
she
wanted the
has.
whole group to do it, she could have said it in front of the whole group together as an alliance and
That's the
been
thing.
like,
They're not.
hey,
That's why the cookout's so quiet, because they don't meet as a group.
no, they don't meet
So,
as a group,
but
which is smart. It is smart to do that. But what I'm saying in the sense of like why that's negative on Tiffany is that she's having these one-on-one talks with everybody. So everyone thinks that she is with them when she could be cutting some of these people here before too long. And then once Kylan starts seeing her cutting someone, you know, like Azah or something, that's not going to happen. I'm just using them as an example. But how is Kylan going to feel if she boots Azah? And he's like, well, shit, if she's going to boot her, then she can boot me too. The cookout's over. The first time she votes somebody out from the cookout, that alliance is crumbling to the ground.
She's not going to, though. That's the problem. She flat out said
has to eventually.
She's not to 6. She literally says, I want to go to 6 with this group, and she has a final 3 with Hannah and Xavier, and she has a final 2 with her and Kylan.
I don't think the cookout will make it to final 6.
I don't see. When are they going to get targeted? That's the problem.
Derek X.
He's not targeting them though. He's targeting Christian.
He's not targeting them now. That we're listen though. We are still so early in this game. They should not even be talking about a final 6 right now. We're not even. We're literally like a third of the way into the game.
Final 6 is the majority right now, though. There's only a
majority, but we're still so much that can happen. There's still so many HOH. There's still so many vetoes. However many production twists that want to go into the season. It's too early.
We always say that every year in the big alliance. If the big alliance sticks together, this is the same thing every year. Big Brother 22, big alliance. Oh, there's gonna crumble. There's cracks. They never crumbled. Big Brother 16, cracks. They never crumbled. And Big Brother 19, there was cracks. But Paul just did whatever he wanted. He had final 2s and 3s with everybody. And
this season though has not been like other seasons though either.
It kind of has. Who's gone home every time the cookout wanted someone to go home? The first week or the second week, besides the first week, the second week was Brent. The
second week was Frenchie.
Our second week was Frenchie. That's what everybody wanted. Third week was Brent. Fourth week was Whitney. And who was good? Who benefited from Whitney to go? The cookout. That was it.
But hold on a second, because the first vote out was Travis. That was before the cookout even. Yeah, that was just whatever. And then Frenchie dug his own grave. There was the cookout didn't vote Frenchie out. Frenchie voted himself out. We know that. So there's 2 weeks of no game really needing to happen. And then we get to the third week with Brent. Again, Brent shot himself in the foot by being fucking annoying. He was annoying everybody. He was really narcissistic, talking about himself all the time, completely oblivious to the game, completely oblivious to how people were even perceived him. So I think that was, again, another easy vote out. It was something that they didn't strategically plan to do. And then we get to Whitney. The only reason why Whitney went is not because she's a game threat or she's a social threat. The only reason why she went is because she liked Xavier, and they didn't want Xavier to get too close to Whitney.
No, they don't. Whitney went home. Cut it. Whitney went home because Tiffany set her up as someone close to Brent a week ago, and then Whitney was the target. And the reason why Whitney went home was because she just.
But you can't say that Whitney, like, being all over Xavier didn't help that situation.
The only one that affected was Azah. That was the only one. Nobody else.
But Azah's close with Brittany. Azah's close with the cookout.
Yeah, but Sarah Beth is hanging all over Kylan. That's not the reason why she's going to get voted out.
But Azah don't like Kylan. Azah likes Xavier.
Okay, but Azah has no sway in the cookout. Azah's literally the 6th member at this point.
I guess so. I feel like she does a little bit. I feel like she does it a little bit.
Derek F has 2 final 3s within the group. He's the GOAT. Everyone's taking him.
Yeah.
Kylan has Xavier. Kylan has Tiffany. Tiffany has Kylan. Tiffany has X. Tiffany has Hannah. Hannah has Tiffany. Hannah has.
But Tiffany and Azah are close as well.
Yeah,
they also have a final 2 deal.
Tiffany's over her. She's so emotional. They were just arguing last week because when they put Brittany up, when they targeted Brittany in that competition, in the wild card.
I
When
know,
her,
but I didn't think that Ozzy was arguing with Tiffany about that.
yeah, they got in an argument because her and Derek X teamed up on her in the wild card competition.
Okay.
Yeah, so literally Aza's on the outs. She's the sixth member. She literally lost her spot because she actively doesn't really game, and everybody has a final three deal within the cookout except for her. She's the sixth member. Aza has no say why Whitney went home. Whitney went home because Tiffany wanted Whitney to go home, and she wanted her to go home just because she didn't have alliance with her and she wasn't part of
It
the
was a
cookout.
bad move. That's what I'm saying. Like, why get Tiffany out or why get Whitney out? She's not a threat.
That's why I'm
She's
saying.
not a social threat. She's not a
Well-
strategic threat at all.
Well, it was a good move for Tiffany.
Why?
And
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
Tiffany
she
needs
wasn't
to
in
get
line
out
with
the
her.
other smart people that are going to go against her.
The
Tiffany
thing
is
is-
not smart enough to go against or Whitney is not smart enough to go against Tiffany.
But she wasn't in line with her. She was the only person she was in line with. Why keep that person in the house?
Tiffany's going to shoot herself in the foot because she's going to be with all of her people that she has an alliance with, that she's good with, and then she's going to have to make the decision to get rid of somebody because she's a kingpin of that alliance. And then what is she going to do? She's going to shoot herself in the foot if she don't figure it out.
Well,
I don't see Tiffany's. I like Tiffany, and I think that she's playing the best game 100% out of everybody else in this game. She is leaps and bounds above everybody else strategically in this game. But I think that she's playing too hard, too fast, and that she is spreading herself thin, and she's going to catch herself up.
I don't think there's not a single person who once said we got to get Tiffany out.
There is. There's some. I know there's. I can't think of who it is right now. I know there's somebody
they said she was smart and she was worried, but that was it. And now Xavier is full on wants to go to the end with her. Kylan full on wants to go to the end with her. Claire full on wants to go to the end with her. She literally says, "I think Tiffany's doing more without me."
That's my point. Is she's got all these deals. People are going to talk. People are going to
You
talk.
think what happened with Tyler?
Out.
What happened with Tyler? Huh? Tyler made it to the end. He had final two deals with 7 people. It made it to the end. No one talked. It happens. We see it
happens,
before.
But there's a lot smarter people in here though than season 22.
Yeah, but who has the social? If Kyle, the only
the
person
social, Kylan has the social, 100%.
The only person that can do something is Kylan. That's it.
Kylan for sure. If Sarah Beth ends up staying, I can see Sarah Beth trying to. Not saying that she'll succeed, but I can at least see her trying to.
That's the problem.
Claire's disappointing me because if Claire's just going to ride with Tiffany to the end and be her number 2, that's not it.
That's not it. Claire's disappointing. But we got on a big tangent there.
I'm just saying. I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see the cookout run to the very, very end, and then there'll be the final 6, and then it's pretty much just figure out who wins from there. That's boring. I do not want to watch that.
Me either.
If that's what happens, I'm gonna fucking fall off.
Yeah,
of watching this season.
That's the problem. That's the thing. That's the issue. I think the characters are good.
It's so frustrating how we have Derek X here, who's won 4 competitions. Who's Claire's here, who's a huge, social threat, strategic threat. Everything. And it's like they're not doing anything. They're not.
No.
They are a worthy. Derek X is a worthy contender to be a threat. Claire is a worthy competitor to be a threat. Tiffany, Kylan, Xavier. If he was just Xavier's got the smarts to do it. Now that Whitney's out of the house, I'm kind of hoping it puts his butt into game gear instead of fucking around gear.
My biggest issue with Xavier is he has the least amount of social bonds outside of the cookout. He has one.
Xavier does. Yeah.
He has one with Christian, but he wants Christian out. The person that and Alyssa, and he's okay with Christian going. So if Christian goes and she finds out Xavier has something to do with it, she's gonna be angry with him. So
Alyssa?
So
who cares? What's she gonna do? She has no leeway either.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The 2 people he has a social bond with, either he wants them out or he's gonna piss the other one off. That's what I'm saying. I think
part of that too is the Kings didn't have to lose. You know what I mean? They've had their people the whole time, so they felt safe and secure this whole time. And now that the teams are no more, it's a different story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't have to really game because they were able to just talk amongst themselves and their full team. And now it's biting them in the ass.
I think, like I said, Xavier Full is the person that is he's the head of what's do the cookout to the end, to 6. He's the head of that. And Tiffany recently has come to that. Uh, Azza and Derek F are like, yeah, for sure. I think the only one who's considering not at this point is Kylan, and that was it. That's it. Other than that, I think everyone else is like full on final six type thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, I really hope we don't get that. I hope we get. I want to see the
That's
best
why I'm
players.
hoping that each one of these person's branches, like Kylan's is Sarah Beth,
Yeah.
Oz's is Brittany. You know, like I'm hoping that these people that have their little connections with their little side buddies, that relationship might, you know, we saw a little bit of preview is that relationship might cause an issue of making a decision. You know, Kylan doesn't, you know, we know that Tiffany wants Sarah Beth out like crazy. She wants Sarah Beth to go like now. And you know, Kylan's in a little bit of a moral, you know, standoff here because he really likes Sarah Beth. He's close to Sarah Beth. He doesn't want to get rid of Sarah Beth. And so is that relationship going to trump over Tiffany? He said it's not going to in his diary room, but there's plenty of time left for people to make a decision.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of time left for something to happen. And that's just one relationship, Kylan to Sarah Beth, not counting, you know, Tiffany to who did Tiffany say that hers was? Claire? Yeah, Tiffany to Claire. You know, that could end up being something. Kylan to Sarah Beth, Xavier to Christian. You know what I mean? Like something could up happen. And we saw a little bit of something arise in the sense of like, you know, of Kylan, you know, being unsure. And that was just one diary room we've seen of it. We could see a diary room here coming up of Azza being like, you know what? You know, I don't trust Tiffany. You know, she rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm gonna get with Brittany, and we're gonna do something with Claire and Christian and Alyssa.
Well, we'll see. I'm nervous about it being this red shot, but we did get, like I said, Sarah Beth did try to push for Hannah, and everyone pushed back, and she's like, "Why is my alliance trying to protect her?" Sarah Beth, because they're in an alliance with her. That's why. And just like she said, like, listen, once her proposal got taken down, then have a one-on-one with Christian and say, and
going
listen,
after
like,
Hannah
hey,
was a bad idea anyway.
Yeah.
Going after Hannah was a bad idea anyway because she's way too connected with people. And I know that Sarah Beth doesn't see that, but I think that she should a little bit because she was easily close with Derek X and easily close with Christian and Alyssa.
No, so, she wasn't close with Kristen. She didn't come close to Kristen and Alyssa until after this week.
Yeah.
So it just Christian, honestly, Alyssa wanted to get Hannah out. Christian didn't want to. So but we get to the nominations of Whitney and Hannah. And Whitney, I don't even think they talked to her. To be honest with you, she was like, "Oh shit, I didn't even see it coming." We like we'll just talk about we'll just talk about general thoughts. The veto was Christian won the veto. Derek X got close. Christian is winning too many competitions in my book. He should just slow down. Yeah.
You mean Derek?
You mean, Christian's won more than Derek.
How many has Christian won?
He's won
individually.
He's won. He won the team comp to be captain. He won 2 vetoes and an HOH.
And Derek X has won 2 vetoes, HOH, and the wild card comp.
No, he didn't. Tiffany won.
Or no.
And Christian won the wild card comp. Yeah.
Didn't Derek X win a 4th comp though? Wasn't there like a side comp or something that he won?
He threw the wild card. He threw the HOH.
Okay.
And he lost the veto. Christian is literally the only competition he lost while trying is the one where his team dropped all the blocks on him. It wasn't his fault. He would have won if they just held the blocks together. So Christian is like the number 1 threat going into the week, even though he's trying to set himself. And Whitney was somebody that would have helped him if he just like settled down. But Tiffany and all them got so many, and Xavier has so many leeches on him that he just couldn't see it. The veto comp, like I said, Christian won. It was the ball to the other side one, and we get a weird. That was Azza's confession to Xavier. I have a middle school crush on you,
dude. Listen, I'm gonna give her props because that's brave to do that, to go up to somebody and be like, "Hey, I like you, and I hope that you reciprocate the same feelings, and if you don't, then that's okay." Like, I give it to her because that is extremely hard to do. I thought it was very adult of her to do that, other than just like, flirt with him or like tease him or, what I mean? I thought it was really good of her to sit down and be like, "Hey, I need to tell you something." I liked it.
Yeah. It was, I guess, I don't know. I just thought it was silly. The way she said it was weird. And
I
Xavier's like,
mean, yeah, but
look, I'm not here for women. I'm here to win the game. And he's done really well. Honestly, I
yeah.
was hopeful when I seen his bio. And then the first episode, he was like, oh, she's good looking. She's good looking. I was like, oh, damn, Xavier's going to be. I think if Alyssa was interested in him, I think he would have crumbled with her. But I think that was the only one.
He likes Alyssa. He still likes
Yeah.
Alyssa.
Yeah.
I think if Christian leaves the house, that could be a possibility
We'll see.
because it's so funny because it's like everybody wants her. You know what I mean? Like they see everyone wants Alyssa, but it's like they settle for somebody else. Like, like Xavier like settled for Whitney. You know what I mean? Because he can't have Alyssa.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. It was Whitney or Derek X did mess up on the conversation. He was like talking to Xavier. He's like, me and I hope me and Hannah don't get on slop next on have nots next week. Why Whitney staying right there? She said, oh, so I'm just leaving? And she
Dude,
tries to get Derek X backdoored, but it didn't go nowhere.
that is not gonna happen. No. Derek X is liked.
Yeah. We get to, and then Christian doesn't use the veto, of course, so it's just Whitney and Hannah. We go in this episode. There was no content for the week that they set up stuff all for next week in the last episode of the week. Like
Yeah.
we get the
No,
Kylan
we
and
got a little
Tiffany.
bit of content because we got like Tiffany, like the good morning message, and then we
That's
got
what I'm saying. That was nothing for this week, though. That was just them showing
oh,
cracks
okay.
in
I'm
the.
sorry.
You see what
Okay.
I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
nothing towards the vote. It was they didn't show. I don't think they showed a single conversation Whitney had with people because she didn't do
They went over. I
nothing.
remember her having a diary room where she's like, that doesn't mean I'm not trying to stay. And then it went like cut to her talking to somebody, but I don't remember what it was about.
Yeah, it was she or no, I think she said that in her eviction speech. I want to stay or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was. We see Tiffany get mad because she says good morning to Kylan, Xavier, and Sarah Beth, and they're all having a conversation. And then she says it again, and Kylan gives her a hug. Why they continue the conversation, and she got pissed. And I mean, like, I understand her being a little upset, but it's
Oh
like they
yeah.
were all having a conversation.
I understand her being paranoid, and I think being a month of being in the house without any outside contact is starting to wear on them. Because I think that on day one, that's probably something that she wouldn't have gotten upset about, but day 30 something by now that she
that's
probably
fair.
would.
Yeah, and she's playing a million miles a minute too. So
Yeah, she is playing a million miles a minute, and she walks in. I mean, think about it. You walk into a room and you say something twice, and nobody responds to you twice. That would cause me to have some paranoia. It would.
right.
Yeah.
I agree. But Kylan and her have a weird exchange, and she's like, "It's resolved," and he's like, "How can it be resolved if like both people didn't resolve it?" And she's just like, she just was in a bad mood. It was weird. It was, they
I think
wanted
that
to
she
show.
knew too that like she was acting a certain type of way,
Mm,
and she had like realized it and been like,
yeah,
okay, I need to stop because the feeds are on. You know what I mean? Like people are gonna watch me act this way and perceive
but
notions
she
of
said
me.
he's like he didn't. The only reason why he came and talked to me is because of Sarah Beth, and that's it. And in a way, kind of yeah, but he just wanted to resolve it, and she just was not having it. For
No.
one, and also, you know who Matthew McConaughey is, right?
Yes.
How dare Sarah Beth not know who that man is?
I think that she knows who he is, but she doesn't realize that she knows who he is.
I don't know.
I mean,
I
if you
don't
haven't
know.
seen like,
That baffled my mind. I was like, what?
he's in a lot of movies. I mean, like,
Yes.
yeah,
I couldn't. Yeah. Oh my god. um, and then we get Aza. So Tiffany explains the whole pair thing. We should pair up and put up a pair. This was established, I think, last week, but this is the first time they showed it. And so that way, if they're seen as a pair with somebody, they get put up on the block, and the cookout will have the votes to vote off the other pair.
this is season 12 all over again. This is the brigade method. How everybody has their one off, remember? So like Lane had Brittany, so on and so forth. That they're doing the same thing this season. Almost the
Yeah,
same strategy. But instead of Matt and Hayden running it, it's Tiffany.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. It's a proven strategy,
Mhm.
obviously, but not everyone can pull it off. So far, we'll see. We have not seen a cookout member go up on the block since Kylan did week one. So, what I'm hoping for this season, I just want to see some of the best players face adversity, face something that doesn't go exactly the way they want it. It's bad for their
But see, I
game.
think that, I think that it will because we're the one good thing about this season. Like everyone's like, oh, the votes have been boring because they're boring people. But and it leaves these good players to be left toward the end. We're gonna get a kill. We're gonna get a killer game these next couple of weeks
I
from
hope
here
so.
on out
I
because
hope
all the
so.
duds are gone. Like thank God we don't have fucking Brett and Jury or like
Yeah.
you know what I mean or like fucking
Mhm.
Travis by like you know what I mean like I think that the vote out so far yes they've been boring but the right people are going home right now because we don't want these people making a decision all of a sudden they fucking win final seven HOH or something and then what I mean like and then what's gonna fucking happen
Right.
someone that's actually a good player is gonna go home because dumbass over here won HOH like I don't want to see that either so it's like I'm kind of glad that I think that Travis Frenchie um actually Frenchie could have stayed, but
Mhm.
I think that Travis, Brett, and Whitney were fantastic vote outs and should have happened.
Yeah. Okay.
I would have been pissed to see Hannah go over Whitney. I would have
Uh,
been, for goodness sake.
I get what you're saying. Like I said, it just all depends on the situation. I just, like I said,
Yeah.
I just want to see. I want to see some like Tiffany wants something like this, like something in the realm of this situation, and it goes to this situation, and we haven't seen that yet. But pretty much Tiffany's trying to lay the groundwork for Sarah Beth to go home. Whitney gets sent home, 10-0, and she definitely was trying to stall time, or was
Yeah.
for Julie was. It's like just had them talk and told them about the team twist. Like tell them the team twist ended when they're sitting ready for the comp. Like we don't have
Yeah.
to sit here for 5-10 minutes of
No.
them talking. And I'm tired of these live evictions. Are you tired of the live evictions? I feel like
Yeah,
they
because I'm
take too
tired of
long.
them shouting out everyone under the sun every single time. Claire is the only one who does not do shout outs. And it's because she's a super fan and she knows that we don't like that shit.
Well, it's not even the shout out. It's just the
Oh,
time.
the shout outs kill me.
I don't want to see them walking through the hallway like this. And it's just like I've seen enough. Oh, the funniest shit was when Christian was trying to do Derek F's walk.
Oh my god, dude, that was so
That was
funny. So
hilarious.
funny. Derek F
Oh
was like,
my
"Stop it, you're
god.
too straight." She was so funny, so good. And then
Xavier's
Xavier
like,
comes in, he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "He's dancing," and he's like, "He is."
he's like, you have no
It's like,
rhythm,
bro, you
man.
don't have a single beat in your body.
That was hilarious. That whole
So
section was so
funny.
funny. So funny.
That was a good one. See,
Yeah.
you gotta love the fun moments
Yeah.
too.
I think the characters are great. I just hope it's not a boring game.
Yeah,
My biggest issue with season 12. I like the characters. I just think the game is boring.
I love season 12. Shut your mouth.
But we're gonna want to talk a little bit about like what's going on since we've got a couple information
Yeah, so
about
like
the HOH. So all right, so this hasn't been shown in the show yet. Just fair
Yeah.
warning.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about who won HOH, and that was Derek X. And he was at
It was
the
the wall
end.
comp, by the way, famous
Yeah, the
wall
wall
comp
comp.
from Big Brother. They do it every season.
Derek F lasted like 3 minutes, bro. Like 3 minutes.
Yeah, he's a big boy. They say, listen, I've read into this comp a lot. They say that the littler you are and the shorter you are, the better chance you have because you don't have as much weight to hold up,
Yeah.
and your body itself isn't holding. You're not trying to hold yourself up, and your body doesn't catch as much of the stuff. It's like the goop and the rain and all that good stuff. So, like, the best thing to do is to center yourself and try to make yourself as teeny as possible. So, going into this comp, you would think that like Alyssa and Brittany, and Derek X are going to have the best chances because they're the tiniest people. They're skinny.
Well, Derek X isn't tiny,
short.
but
The
he's
shorter
tall.
you are, the easier it's going to be. That's
He's
what, and
6
if
foot.
you look back on who's won these comps in the past, other than like Jackson,
And Derek
I know
X.
Jackson won the wall comp.
I wouldn't say Derek X is small. He's 6 foot. He's bigger than I am.
He's skinny. He's skinny thin. He doesn't have as much weight to hold up.
That's fair, but he has a lot of muscle. That's why he held himself up. Um, but yeah,
He's just
so
thin though. That's what I'm saying. Like he's
yeah,
thin, he's muscular, so he doesn't have as much weight to hold up,
hmm
and he's thin in the sense of like he doesn't catch as much stuff.
right. So what do you think his best move is to nominate?
Derek X.
hmm
Um, it's hard saying because obviously we know that Derek X and Hannah have a showmance. They haven't really highlighted a lot on it.
Well, they
Like
really
in the
haven't done.
show.
They haven't really done like a showman. Like they haven't kissed or anything.
No, but they cuddle.
Yeah, but I mean, so did Xavier and Whitney. They didn't do anything besides cuddle.
But people were pairing them together as a showmance too, Whitney and Xavier.
I guess.
So, but my point
Yeah.
is X's closest ally is Hannah,
Mm-hmm.
and then past that is probably
Tiffany or Kylan.
Tiffany. Yeah. So if he heeds advice from them, which are all three of those people are members of the Cookout,
Mm.
more than likely he's going to put up Sarah Beth and Brittany.
Yeah, that's what it's looked like most likely in a backdoor plan to get Christian out. Me personally, I think it'd be best for him to keep Christian in the game. They really need to. They really need to really have a truce. Be like, look, bro, you and me have won almost all the competitions.
Yeah.
Let's stick together. Let's not tell anybody, and let's just look out for each other. As long as we don't target each other, who's going to target us? Nobody, because they can't win the competitions against us.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as it's not outright shown that they're a duo, then even if they lose a competition, as long as one of them goes up and the other one gets picked to play veto, they can take the other one down.
Derek
So
X is one of those people too that you don't want to tell him a plan early, know it's going to change. He's one of those people that's I feel like that's very influential. He's not going to stick to his own guns. So you don't tell him the real plan until like 20 minutes before tribal before vote out. You know what I mean? Like it seems like he's one of those people that like the last plan is the plan.
yeah,
Do you get that feel from him, or is it just me?
a little bit. I think he likes to micromanage too much, and that irritates me. He can't. So like he hears a plan, he has to like deep dive into it and like figure out, okay, what if this and what is that? What is this? What is that? Like, but yeah, I don't. Me personally, I think a good opposition for him is Derek F because he's like the goat of the season as of right now, in a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah.
And if you're a big
I don't
comp
thi- I don't
threat or
think-
you're a big threat, you want to get rid of a goat.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not in line with him. He's not in line with Derek F.
And what's Derek F gonna do if he does get targeted? Like, how is he gonna save himself other than having the Cookout behind his back? I don't see him talking people into keeping. He's just not. He doesn't have that. I mean, he's likable in the sense of he's fun, but I don't think he's likable in the sense of like people would put their own game on the line for him.
And I feel like if you put him up, there's a chance the Cookout might get outed. Like he might crumble on that block. And then now he doesn't know this, so we have the benefit of knowing that there's a Cookout. But Claire does want to go after Derek F. She sees him as the GOAT, like we just said, and that is dangerous for her game, which is true. Why would you sit next to Claire when you can sit next to Derek F? That's the way people like a Derek X and a Christian need to look at it. Is like they will never choose you over Derek F because, and Claire's the one that sees it right now. But we'll see. Well, the plan, like I said, the plan is the Sarah Beth and Brittany and the backdoor Christian.
Right.
And I think, but we'll see what happens.
There's still a lot of time. A lot of things can happen. Stuff can change literally overnight.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. We'll definitely. Like I said, I'm still enjoying this season. You
never know. Like fucking Tiffany and fucking Azah could have a big old fucking yelling match, and then the fucking alliance is over. Like, you know what I mean? Like anything can happen. I've seen alliances break over less.
I just don't want to see a domination of the Cookout to Final Six. Not because I don't like them, but that's just not entertaining to watch as a game.
No.
So, like, the reason why Dr. Will and Dan were so fun to watch was that they were facing adversity and they found fun ways to get out of them.
Yep.
I want to see if Tiffany can find her way to get out of something, or maybe make it fun or make it a moment, or saying, or Kylan. Like I want to see them try to get out of something. And what if it's like, what if it's Dan and Frank? Like Frank is, I see Dan, I gotta get rid of him, and he completely changes his mind. You're like mind blown. Like see a gameplay, something like. I feel like these players have potential to do something crazy.
Oh,
Or make a
same.
great gameplay, but they're always going to play it safe. They're not going to play risky if things are going the way they're going for them.
I think that there's still a lot of life in these people. And I don't want people to count out this season yet. Or like, oh, it's boring and predictable, blah, blah. We're literally only in week 4. Like there's still so much. This season doesn't end until the middle of September.
Yeah.
Like, and pretty much when Survivor starts, like there's still a whole ass other month for us to go through. Yeah. So I don't think anything is written in stone yet. And I don't think production would let it.
We'll see. We also have a vote, a fan vote. I don't know what that is for yet. We'll see. But that's all we have for you guys today. That was our week 4 thoughts. We are having a host interview with Jay, Sebastian, and Marissa from Survivor Torg. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys for watching. Please give us a like and subscribe. Join our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter. Thank you guys. Have a nice night. Bye.